So in this video, I will be walking through the steps for configuring a TAK user to communicate and engage in a simulation in TAKGM. On the left-hand side, I have WinTAK running, and on the right-hand side, I have TAKGM loaded in the Unreal Engine editor. While I am using WinTAK, the steps on CivTAK and I imagine ATAK, I haven't gotten my hands on that one yet, are quite similar or nearly identical. It's also worth noting that even though these are running on the same device, the steps for connecting applications running on different devices is the same. So we will get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and play TAKGM. And first you must create your scenario as you've seen before. We're going to go ahead to the select scenario where we'll actually configure the networking parameters. First you have to choose your scenario, and then these are mostly all of the networking parameters that we are going to specify. So the first one is the inbound UDP port. So for this we can use anything. I'm going to use 5444. And when I say anything, there are restrictions on some ports. Anything above like 3,000 up to 10,000 should be okay and permissible to use. The next value is the outbound UDP port. For this, I'm going to set it to 4242. Now, it is very important that you do not use the same ports for these two fields. You should have two different ports. So TAKGM is going to listen on port 5444 and send UDP messages on port 4242. Next, we'll need to know the multicast address. So the multicast address is simply the subnet for your network, which connects all of your devices, followed by all ones. So the subnet for the network I'm using, since I'm using 0 tier to connect all of our devices, the subnet is 10.244. And you can just kind of see here in this little text document diagram, we're going to basically append .255.255 to this network subnet. So that'll basically say, on this network, we want to broadcast to all addresses. So that's exactly what I'm going to put in here, 10.244.255.255. Next, the wait time. This is the number of seconds between broadcasts of COT messages. So the TAKGM application will send out COT messages for each entity in bursts, and it will send updated messages at this rate. So I'm going to say every 5 seconds we want to send updated messages. Now, before I select the scene, I'm actually going to go in WinTAK and show you how to connect a TAK user. So we're going to go into the settings and go into the network preferences. This is taking a second. Okay. So we're going to go in network preferences, and you just need to manipulate two things. The first is in manage inputs. So this is just being a little slow. So I'm actually going to be using this default UDP. The protocol is UDP. Make sure that that is set to that. 0, basically saying we're going to listen to all addresses or accept all inbound messages on port 4242. So this matches the outbound UDP port, which we specified here. And next we have to manage our outputs. So we want to multicast situational awareness information or cursor on target messages, and we're going to use UDP. And here you could try putting the multicast address if you wanted to, but it would be better and more efficient, less wear on the system if you just put the IP address of the device running TAKGM. So this device I'm running currently has this IP address associated to it. So I'm going to put that in there. and the port is 5444. This has to match the inbound UDP port specified here. So that concludes all of the configuration, so let's go ahead and start the scene. Now this may take a second to load and start up. So now that the scenario has loaded, we just saw all of the simulated entities appear on the map. And if we scroll down here in the world outliner, we will also find a stand-in in here. So my screen actually froze in the previous video that I recorded, but you can see here the stand-in is in the world outliner, and you can actually see him in the middle of the parking lot here.